Power and Play with Com Noli Iyala. Power and Play with Com Noli Iyala.
Sa kapwa ko Pilipino, ipagmalaki ang galing na meron tayo. Ilantad ang likas nating talento at magdala ng saya sa mundo. Sa harap ng pagsubok ay di susuko, para sa pangarap tayo'y porsigido. Magpakitang gilas na at huwag magpatalo, ipagdiwang natin ang Pilipino. Yan ang Pinoy. Mula noon at hanggang ngayon, talento natin ang bida. Mula sa simpleng bakuran hanggang entablado natin ipakita. May pagsubok man ng Pinoy, pinalalakas ng saya. San man tayo sa pulot, sumbesibay, lakay, amiga. Sama-samang pakita ang galing natin katropa. Sa kapwa ko Pilipino, Pilipino, yan ang Pinoy.
May bagong silang, may bago pong kuponan sa PBA. Alam naman po natin, nagpaalam na ang Alaska at meron na po sila kagad kahalili. Magandang balita yan para sa mga PBA fans, pero marami ring katanungan. Ito kayang team na to ay magdudulot ng bagong excitement? O ito kayang team na to ay magiging katulad din ng mga nag-expand na team na tila walang kagustuhang manalo ng kampyonato? May bago ba talaga o same-same lang? Atin pong sasagutin yan sa inyong paboritong kasama tuwing Sabado ng umaga. E di paano? Bango na! Power and Play na! Power and Play with Com Noli Iyala. Magandang umaga po sa inyo lahat, mga kapatid. Magbabalik po ang Power and Play, hatid sa inyo ng Cherry Loom, ang yerong may aluminum, Cherry Tigo. It's fun to drive at ng Chooks to Go, ang nag-iisang manok ng bayan, powered by Smart. Magandang umaga po sa lahat ng ating mga suki na sa kasalukuyan ay nakikinig sa Radyo 5 92.3 News FM. Lahat po ng mga bumabiyahe patungo sa kanilang mga tanggapan o di kaya ipauwi na ang ating po mga suking TNVS drivers. Good morning sa ating pong taxi squad, lahat po ng mga terminal ng bus at ng mga emergency room, yung mga security guard. Magandang umaga sa inyong lahat. And of course, naimbag nga bigat sa ating mga kaibigan sa Dagupan, sa La Union, sa San Fernando, La Union, sa Lawag City, Ilocos Norte. Magandang umaga po mga nanonood sa 1PH on Signal TV. And of course, hello world sa ating po mga viewers sa Facebook Live ng pages ng Power and Play, 1PH at ng Radyo 5. Naku, napakaganda ng araw ngayong umaga pong ito. Tila mainit pero maayos pa naman. At wala naman tayo nababalitang mga weather disturbances. Yan ang huli kong narinig. Pero ang problema, mga kapatid, tila bumababa na po ang level ng ating tubig. Tubig! Ika nga ng sigaw, no? Tayo po huwag nang maghintay na talagang magkaroon ng rationing, no? Napabalita natin na kung ito daw ay tuloy-tuloy na hindi magkakaroon ng pag-ulan na matitindi, baka talagang magkaroon po ng water shortage, no? Pagdating po ng Mayo. Wag na po nating intayin yan, ha? Magtipid-tipid na po tayo. Kung hindi naman kailangan maligo ng 3 beses o 2 beses sa isang araw, medyo wisik-wisik na lang, ha, mga kapatid. Ganon din po yung mga nagka-carwash. Naku, yung carwash na yan sandamakmak na balde ng tubig ang itinatapon dyan. Sana po kung hindi naman na kailangan pumorma, medyo punas-punas na muna ng sasakyan kasi kailangan po nating magtipid. Pero napakaganda po ng araw at sana po'y magpatuloy kayong mag-ingat. Maganda rin po ang araw ng mundo ng palakasan sapagkat ngayong araw pong ito, medyo nagsisimula na po ang mga collegiate leagues. Magsisimula po ngayong araw na to. And of course, ang ating inabangan dito sa ating network ay ang UAAP. Sisimula na po ng Season 84. Palakpakan dyan, Jerry, dyan ng konti. Ha? UAAP opening po ngayong araw na to, Season 84. Meron po tayong opening ceremony mamaya pong alas 9 ng umaga. Abangan nyo po yan. Ha? Sa ating mga estasyon, sa One Sports po, dito sa Signal TV, of course. Panoorin po nyo ang UAAP pre-taped ceremony or opening ceremony dito po sa One Sports. Mamaya po yan. And of course, 4 na laro yan para sa UAAP ngayong araw pong ito. Yung unang laban, alas 10 ng umaga. Pagkatapos ng ating palatuntunan, FEU versus UST. Sa alauna po, Adamson laban sa NU. And then sa alas 4, yung main game nila, Ateneo laban sa UP. Naku, labang mabigat kagad ito. At sa huling laro po natin, alas 7 ng gabi, Lasal kontra UE. Napakaganda po niyan sa MOA Arena. Bagamat hindi pa pwede ang fans pumasok, panoorin na lang po ninyo sa Signal, sa One Sports, sa Signal Play app at sa Smart app. No? Panoorin po nyo yan mamaya. Of course, ang NCAA is also opening today sa Lasal Green Hills. May laban na dalawa dyan. Mamaya din po ang NCAA. Ang isa pang of course nating binalita kanina ay ang pagpasok ng bagong koponan ng PBA. Ito po yung Converge Internet Company. Ito po yung Converge ICT. No? Na sila po ang hahalili sa Alaska Aces na nagpaalam na nga sa liga. Naku, magandang balita to. Ano? Ang ibig lang po sabihin nito ay hindi malalagasan ang PBA ng mga koponan. Ang bilis ng pagpapalit. Nagpaalam ang Alaska noong Marso at itong bago nagtapos ang Marso ay meron na kagad na kapalit. Kaya po magandang balita yan para sa ating mga fans. Bagong putahe po yan para sa ating mga fans ng basketball sa pagpasok po ng bagong season ng PBA. Hunyo yata, no? Magsisimula na uli yata ang PBA, parang ganon. But again, it's a good development. It also shows, matagal ko na sinasabi nito, na ang PBA ay nananatiling the #1 sports entertainment platform in the country. Marami pa rin pong may interest sa PBA. Ang tanong lang, ano ba ang ginagawa ng PBA para sa ating mga fans? Hindi naman pwede tayo laging umaasa. Pangalawa po, ano bang klaseng team ito kayang Converge? Ang balita, makukuha nila yung mga players ng Alaska. Pero again, nakakita na tayo ng expansion teams. Nakakita na tayo ng mga bagong teams. Wala rin naman nangyari, di ba? Parang ayaw manalo. So ang tanong po, talaga bang magiging competitive? Una. At pangalawa, gaano ka-independent mananatili ang Converge katulad po ng Alaska? Mamaya po masasagot yan dahil ang ating bisita mamaya po ay ang bagong hirang na governor ng Converge team ng PBA, ang dating commissioner at aking kaibigang si Attorney Chito Salud. Mamaya po yan abangan nyo yan. And of course, pinag-uusapan natin ng UAAP. Mamaya po, another exclusive interview. Matagal na natin siyang hinahanap, hindi siya nagpapakita. Finally, nagpakita po sa atin, nakausap natin siya kagabi, just on the eve of the UAAP opening. Ang head coach ng Ateneo Blue Eagles at dating coach ng Gilas, Pilipinas, Coach Tab Baldwin, dito po sa Power and Play. Abangan nyo po, ang dami niyang nasabi. Of course, mararamdaman nyo yung kanyang emotions sa ating interview. Panoorin po nyo yan mamaya, mga alas 9 sa ating second hour. Coach Tab Baldwin sa Power and Play. Alright mga kapatid, tuloy-tuloy na po tayo at marami pa tayong pag-usapan. Ito na po, simulan natin sa pamamagitan ng ating Sports Weekly Highlights. Simula na nga ng bagong era sa PBA matapos opisyal na aprobahan ng Board of Governors ang pagbili ng Converge ICT Solutions sa franchise ng Alaska Aces. Unanimous ang boto ng mga koponan sa sale pero hindi na ibinahagi ang napagkasundoang presyo. Sa Hunyo maglalaro na sa liga ang bagong team. At itutuloy naman daw ng Converge ang kontrata ng mga Alaska players. Dadaan naman sa evaluation ng coaching at medical staff ng bagong koponan. Welcome to the PBA Converge. Isa pang malaking balita sa Asia's oldest basketball league. Maglalaro na sa susunod na Governor's Cup ang East Asia Super League team na Bay Area Dragons ng Hong Kong. Aba, may pupunta dito ha. Ito ang magiging unang foreign guest team sa PBA simula noong 2004. Sa Agosto lalapag sa bansa ang Dragons na sabay maglalaro sa PBA at EASL ngayong taon. Lipat muna tayo sa tennis. Biglang nagretiro sa professional play si current world number 1 Ashley Barty. Matagal na raw pinag-iisipan ng 25 anyos 25 anyos pa lamang ang pagre-retiro. Matatandaang nagpahinga sa tennis noong 2014 hanggang 2016 ang Australian athlete. Nitong Enero lang nagwagi sa Australian Open si Barty. Ito ang kanyang pangatlong Grand Slam. Sa isang emotional na Instagram video sinabi ni Barty na hindi siya hihintong mahalin ang tennis. Pero gusto na raw niyang mag-enjoy ang kanyang buhay bilang si Ashley na hindi na isang atleta. Good news naman sa Philippine sports. 9 na atletang Pinoy ang nakatanggap ng Olympic Solidarity Scholarships ng International Olympic Committee. Kasama dyan si Olympian pole vaulter EJ Obiena at young golfer na si Rian Maliksi. Makakatanggap ng $833 kada buwan ang mga atleta. Laki rin hanggang 2024 Paris Olympics. UAAP fans, magingay! Pinag-usapan natin kanina dahil matapos ng paghihintay ng matagal, 2 taon, nagbabalik na po ang collegiate sports. Bubuksan na ngayong umaga ang UAAP Season 84. 4 na men's basketball matchup ang mapapanood ninyo tuwing Sabado, Martes at Huwebes. At headliner ngayong araw ang tapatang Ateneo at UP. Mapapanood nyo ang mga laro na magsisimula ng alas 10 ng umaga sa One Sports Signal Play App at Smart Giga Play App. Tutukan nyo po yan after our show. Isa pang good news, papayagan na ang fans. Wow! Sa wakas, sa Premier Volleyball League sa pagbubukas nito ng Open Conference Quarterfinals sa Lunes. Ayon kay PVL President Ricky Palou, target nila ang full capacity crowd lalo't magbabalik sa iconic San Juan Arena ang PVL. Requirement po ang vaccination card at syempre, pagsunod sa minimum health protocols sa mga manonood. At sa PBA Semifinals, 1 win away na lang sa finals ang Barangay Ginebra matapos ang isa na namang panalo kontra NLEX 104-94. Sa kabilang serye, nakatabla naman ang Meralco Bolts kontra Magnolia Hotshots sa likod ng low-scoring 81-75 win. At yan po ang buod ng ating mga balita sa sports. Weekly highlights. Naku, ang gandang laban kagabi. No? At ang Ginebra talagang pagdating sa playoffs, ang hirap talunin. Lalong-lalo na nagbabalik na ang mga fans. Mahigit 8,000 nanood kagabi. At sigurado tayong patuloy na lalaki pa yan. Alright, pinag-uusapan natin ang Converge kanina. Mga kapatid, ito ang ating pupulsuhan ngayong araw na ito. Konting light moment dito sa Power and Play. Huwag naman masyadong seryoso lagi. Tama o mali, magpadala kayo ng inyong entry dahil sa ating Pulso ng Bayan, hatid sa inyo ng Chooks to Go, ang nag-iisang manok ng bayan, makakatanggap kayo dun sa mapipili po namin na 2 entries ng mga gift certificates mula sa Chooks to Go. Ang ating pong pupulsuhan ngayong araw ito, simpleng-simple lang. Ano sa tingin nyo, mga kapatid, ang magandang moniker para sa bagong koponan ng PBA na Converge? Ulitin ko po yan. Ano ang magandang moniker sa tingin ninyo ng bagong team ng PBA na Converge? Tandaan nyo, ICT solution sila. Sila po ay isang internet provider. Ito po ay ating babasahin mamaya ang inyong mga komentaryo at pipili po tayo ng 2 na makakatanggap ng gift certificates mula sa Chooks to Go, ang nag-iisang manok ng bayan. Ako marami na nagpadala sa atin sa Twitter at sa Facebook, kaya po medyo magpadala na at maghuntahan tayo mamaya. Alright mga kaibigan, handa na tayo. Handa na tayo sa ating paboritong Fast Take. At ang Fast Take ay hatid sa inyo ng Cherry Tigo. It's fun to drive. And of course, ngayong araw pong ito, ang ating makakasama sa Fast Take ay ang ating mga kaibigan mula sa Chase Down. Naku, laking karangalan naman ito. Ang ating mga paboritong sports journals, si Waylon Galvez ng Manila Bulletin at si Jerry Ramos ng Spin.ph. Good morning, gentlemen! Yung... Good morning, Waylon. Salamat. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Good morning, Jerry.
Yes, good morning, Com. And good morning, Waylon. At sa lahat ng milyong-milyong nakaantabay dito sa Power and Play.
Kulang ng isa. Kulang pa ng isa. Mga isang 1,000,001. Parang ano yan eh. 7,001. Magandang umaga. Maraming salamat for joining us. Bago tayo magsimula, sino ba ang guest natin mamaya sa Chase Down? Jerry at saka Waylon.
Waylon, pasadahan mo na.
Yun!
Ako, Commissioner, mamaya maganda ang topic namin kasi guest namin ng Alaska coach. And syempre, nabanggit mo nga yung new team ng PBA, yung Converge. Nandiyan din ang water polo national team at dalawang players ng Signal HD Spikers, kabilang na si Rachel Andakis.
Naku naman, ang daming manonood. Ang daming manonood niya, Rachel Andakis. Naku naman, talaga kayo kung pumili kayo.
Si Ramos yan, Commissioner.
Ang ganda ng laro ng Signal HD. Sila ngayon ang nangunguna dyan sa PVL. Talagang pinag-uusapan niya PVL, Jerry. Let me just see your thoughts dito. Nagpapapasok na ng fans ang PVL starting sa Monday sa quarterfinals. Napakaganda ng kanilang mga matchups. Lahat ng magagaling na team nandyan. F2, Cherry, Signal, Choco Mucho. Of course, nabanggit natin ang PLDT. Sa tingin mo ba, Jerry, panahon na rin na magpapasok din para sa UAAP ng fans?
Oo naman, Com. Alam naman natin, halos lahat na ng liga dito sa Pilipinas nagpapapasok na ng mga fans. From PBA, from Vismin Cup, PSL, yung volleyball nga, sabi mo, by next Monday, Com, magpapapasok na ng fans. So, I think it's also about time for the college leagues to accept their students back, yung mga alumnus nila na manood muli. Alam naman natin yan ang backbone ng mga college basketballs, yung mga estudyante and yung mga alumni nila. But at the same time, we also respect naman yung kumbaga desisyon ng mga liga na yan na unti-unti muna na tingnan muna natin ang magiging sitwasyon at least for the next few weeks or in the first round bago magpapasok ng mga fans muli. Pero kung ako ang tatanungin kung approve na approve ako dyan, papasukin na yung mga fans na yan.
Well, ako rin talagang alam naman ang buhay ng collegiate league, talagang para sa mga estudyante yan at miss na rin ng mga estudyante. Hindi lamang ang manood ng basketball pero lumabas. Kasi, di ba, hindi rin sila nagkikita-kita eh. Siguro pagkakataon din ito na magkita-kita uli yung mga magkakaklase at mga alumni, no? Lalong-lalo na yung mga senior na talagang, alam naman natin yung mga senior, yan ang pinakamaiingay pagdating sa collegiate league. Pinag-uusapan ng UAAP, Waylon, today opening ng UAAP, 4 na laro. Waylon, sa tingin mo, sino ang mga koponan dito at mga player na mga inaabangan? And of course, ano sa tingin mo ang mga favorites dito? Sino ang paborito para sa season 84?
Commissioner, yung sabi mo teams na inaabangan, teams na paborito, walang iba kundi yung Ateneo. Because they're the defending champion. I think they're gunning for their 4th title, no, under Coach Tab Baldwin. And syempre, yung mga nagbabalik sa Ateneo, yun ang mga abangan natin, including yung kanilang player, ang ating naturalized player na si Angelo Kume. Kung papaano niya ngayon pangungunahan ang Blue Eagles. The last time they won the title, nung nandun pa, I think si Thirdy Ravena, nandyan pa yung sila Matt Nieto. So, this is gonna be interesting. Pero may mga kalaban yan, mga matitindi rin. Nandiyan ang UP Fighting Maroons, ang the usual, syempre rival nila, De La Salle Green Archers, and of course, tignan natin kung anong pwedeng ibuga ng UST Growling Tigers as well as the Adamson Falcons.
Oo, napakadami niya mga talagang aabangan ngayong araw na to. Kanina, mamaya ipapalabas natin yung ating interview with Tab Baldwin. At talaga naman siya excited na excited. After 2 years na hindi naglalaro ang kanyang collegiate team, talagang excited si Coach Tab na magpakita mamaya. Sabi nga niya, nobody knows anong mangyayari dahil ang tagal namin din naglaro. So talagang it's anybody's tournament to win. But of course, alam natin na pre-season favorite pa rin ang Ateneo. Before we go to the fast take, isa pang hirit ko lang sa inyong dalawa. Nakita nyo ba yung video ni Jimmy Butler at saka ni Eric Spoelstra na nag-aaway sa isang laro nung last game nila? Pambihira, no? Nagsigawan, halos nagdabog dun si Coach Eric Spoelstra at nagkasigawan, pati si Udanes Haslem. Jerry, yan bang ganyang bagay, lalong-lalo na dikit ang conference race sa NBA, makakabuti para sa Miami Heat?
Well, Coach, tingin ko, yung mga ganyang bagay naman, natural sa isang team yan. Especially, maski sa PBA, nakikita natin nangyayari yung mga ganyan, no? It only shows yung competitiveness ng team, yung nais nila talagang manalo. But tama ka, at the same time, napakadikit ng laban, especially sa Eastern Conference, na alam natin, Miami Heat ang isa sa mga paborito dyan. Siguro moving forward, it will all boils down on how Coach Eric Spoelstra will handle the team, how will handle the egos ng mga players niya. And I think napatunayan na rin naman niya yan in the past. So I don't think any problem will arise out of that.
Welon, alam mo, kung nangyari yan dito sa PBA kay Coach Yeng, malamang natanggal na yung player na yan. Huwag nilang gaganunin, lalo na si Coach Yeng, si Coach Tim. Naku po, talagang baka bukas wala nang kontrata yung player na yon. Sa tingin mo ba ito makaka-apekto kay Jimmy Butler? Sa tingin mo ba maaaring dahil dito hindi i-renew si Jimmy Butler ng Miami?
We know si Jimmy Butler may history yan na kapag nagkakaroon ng mga issue within the team, biglang ask for a trade. Kung matatandaan natin, ganyan ang nangyari sa kanya sa Minnesota Timberwolves. Pero let's wait and see kung anong magiging hinahinatnan nito sa Miami Heat. Pero kami ni Jerry nagbubunyi dahil while nag-aaway ang number 1 team sa East ng Miami Heat, kami paisi-isi lang kami ko. Akyat-akyat lang kami ng konti.
Kayo ang Boston ay only 1 game behind at 1.5 games from Miami. Very quiet na gumagapang paakyat, pambihira, no? Baka maging number 1 pa. Wag lang yung lampasan ng Philadelphia ko. Magandang laban ito.
Sige, ikaw number 2 na kayo para makaharap niyo yung Brooklyn Nets.
Maganda to. Maganda itong pagtatapos ng NBA and it's only about 2 weeks na lamang at tapos na ang NBA regular season. Alright, ang dami na natin na pagkwentuhan. Puntahan muna natin ang ating Fast Take ngayong umagang ito. Ang ating pong Fast Take ay lagi ang tinatanong natin mga issues tungkol sa sports. Walang tama, walang mali, bato-bato sa langit, tamaan, huwag magagalit. At ito, ang unang Fast Take issue ng umaga. Of course, mainit ang PBA semifinals. Talaga namang parami ang mga taong nanonood at ang ganda ng bakbakan dahil napaka-popular ng mga koponan na nasa semifinals. So ang tanong, ano ang prediction ninyo sa natitirang semifinals games ng PBA Governors Cup? I will begin with you, Jerry. 1 minute, go!
Alam natin ang Ginebra 2-0 na, defending champions yan. And I'm not discounting ang possibility of NLEX coming back, but I like yung chances ng Ginebra going to the finals. I think they're picking at the right place and at the right time. Sa kabila naman, Magnolia versus Meralco. I think it's a grind-out series. Alam natin, tablang serye kagabi, nanalo ang Meralco over the Hot Shots. So, back to square one sila. Of course, everybody is waiting for a Manila Clasico Championship, di ba? 25 years after, dito lang yata tayo magkakaroon ng Manila Clasico. But in any way, ganun din naman kung Meralco ang pumasok. Alam natin may rivalry and may history yan sa Ginebra. So ako, either way, either Ginebra or Magnolia or Ginebra versus Meralco.
Alright, well, alam natin na matindi yan. Matindi ang kahit anong sharing yan, basta naandun ang Ginebra. The way Scotty Thompson is playing, pambihirang bata ito si Scotty talaga. Same question, Waylon, ano ang iyong prediction sa mga natitirang semifinal series sa PBA Governors Cup? 1 minute, Way, go!
Yes, ako nagulat ako dun sa series ng NLEX and Ginebra. I thought NLEX had a little advantage after, Japet Aguilar injured his leg. Tapos wala rin siya sa game 2. But nakita natin yung character, never say die, attitude ng Ginebra. Siguro, dyan lumalabas. Sabi mo nga kanina ko, nandyan na yung fans eh. So talagang ganado yung Ginebra. Pero, let's not discount the fact na kayang bumalik ng NLEX with Coach Yeng as, leader of the team. Kayang-kaya niyan. And sa kabila naman, talagang dikdikan tong laban na to. Ang tingin ko, nagka-cancel out ang imports, si Harris and Temple. Locals, ang tinitignan ko dito na mag-step up kung sino. Nandiyan si Poli, nandiyan si Mark Baroka, sa kabila nandiyan si Newsam, nandiyan si Rock and Roll Raymond Almasan. Pero kahit anong series, Ginebra or NLEX, Ginebra Magnolia, maraming gusto Ginebra Magnolia dahil classic yan.
Talaga, klasiko yan at maraming umaasa dyan. Well, I share the same opinion. But dun sa serye ng Ginebra at saka ng NLEX, I think Coach Yeng, alam naman natin ang capacity niya, napakagaling na coach, pero mahirap i-overcome sa best of 5 yung 2-0. Kaya sa tingin ko, Ginebra will win. I think makakaisa ang NLEX. Alam mo naman yung NLEX may pride yan, so I don't think naman magpapasweep yan. Pero I think Coach Tim Con will take this to the finals again with Justin Brownlee in full display na naman, talagang hirap talunin. Yung Meralco Magnolia, naku, mabigat yun. Magbabigat na serye yun. Parehong magaling na team. Sabi nyo nga, magka-cancel out yung mga imports. But nakita ko Magnolia Talagang iba yung Magnolia. They've been very consistent from day 1 ng Governors Cup. I like their chances, although I do not discount ang Meralco victory dun sa serye ngayon. Alright, punta tayo sa second issue natin of the day. Ito naman ay tungkol sa bagong team na papasok sa PBA, yung Converge. Kanina pinag-uusapan ko yan. Ito ang ating issue. Ano ang inaasahan yung impact ng bagong team na Converge sa PBA kapalit ng Alaska Aces? Way, I'll give you 1 minute. Go!
Maganda to for the PBA, no? Kasi narinig ko nga yung sinabi mo kanina, walang malalagas. Kumbaga, 12 pa rin sila nakupunan. And with the Converge, makukuha niya yung buong koponan ng Alaska. I think they have a good shot. Alam naman natin ng Alaska, lumaban yan for a playoff berth. Nandiyan sa quarterfinals yan. Pero ang nakikita ko dyan, yung impact nung bago, as in fresh. Kumbaga, maski na dala mo yung koponan ng Alaska, yung core team ng Alaska, yung buong team ng Alaska, having a new team, Converge, sa PBA, maganda itong senyales. Dahil as a, internet provider, as a business, entity, yung Converge na yan, nakita niya yung PBA. Sabi mo kanina, PBA is still the number 1 sports entertainment in the country. And with that, nakita niya itong PBA as a, marketing vehicle para sa kanyang business.
Well, bagong mukha, always nakaka-excite sa mga fans. Kaya tama ka, Waylon, talagang this early nararamdaman na natin yung fresh air coming in sa PBA. Jerry, same issue. Ano kaya ang impact ng bagong team na Converge sa PBA sa kanilang pagpasok kahalili ng Alaska Aces? 1 minute, Jer. Go!
Ang maganda kasi rito, Converge is acquiring a team na buo na. May mga core of players sila. May maganda namang coaching staff. And I think looking back, yung mga teams na bumili ng franchise ng isang PBA teams in the past like Phoenix with Barako Bull and NLEX with Air 21, maganda ang naging performance nila. Naging consistent playoff teams. Actually, nag-semifinals pa yung dalawang yan. Phoenix in the 2020 Philippine Cup bubble and Lex in the 2018 Philippine Cup, and ngayon nandyan sa Governor's Cup. So I think kung ganyang may core na ng players, may core na ng isang team, kumpleto recados na, ika nga, I don't think Converge can be competitive as well, no? Katulad ng isang Alaska franchise.
I totally agree. Alam mo, this early, magandang feeling ko dito sa pagpasok ng Converge. All the signs are there na they are going to be competitive. Alam natin kung gaano kalaking kumpanya yung Converge. And they're a publicly listed company. Kaya yan, hindi po pwedeng papetik-petik at nagpapatalo. Because they're also a publicly listed company. Pangalawa, they have sabi mo nga, sabi niyo nakuha nila yung core ng Alaska na alam naman natin ay meron ng kultura, ika nga, no? And thirdly, legit ang mga taong nagpapatakbo. Hindi lamang ang kanilang may-ari, si Dennis Anthony Uy, na alam nabasa ko nga, a big fan. And of course, this is a legacy to his father na makakuha ng PBA team. But also dahil kay Commissioner Chito Salud na ngayon ay magiging PBA governor. I don't think ipapahiram niya yung pangalan niya kung yan na isang koponan na magpapatalo lamang. At speaking of Commissioner Chito, mamaya magiging guest natin si Chito dito para pag-usapan ang Converge. Alright, third and final issue of the morning, gentlemen. Meron din balita na papasok naman ang Bay Area Dragons sa PBA para maglaro sa Governor's Cup. So ang tanong, Jerry, ikaw muna. Anong expectations nyo sa pagpasok ng Bay Dragon sa PBA? 1 minute, Jer. Go!
Ganon din ang expectations ko. Fresh teams, foreign team, actually, to be specific. Magandang maiba man lang yung recados, ika nga. And it's been 18 years, Kom. Alam ko yung time mo pa nung huling nagkaroon ng foreign team na sumali sa PBA. Actually, dalawa sila, yung US Pro-Am Selection and UBC Thunderbirds, if I'm not mistaken. So, makakadagdag ng kulay yan. And at the same time, makikita rin natin yung paano ang takbo ng mga plays, ng mga laro ng mga neighboring countries natin. Yung Bay Area Dragons will be representing actually yung Hong Kong, but it will be a collection of players from mainland China, Chinese Taipei, and Hong Kong. So at least magkakaroon tayo ng idea paano na bang naging development ang basketball sa mga neighboring countries natin. So it's definitely a welcome idea for the PBA to have another guest team. Foreign team for that matter.
Talaga, matagal-tagal na tayo hindi nakakakita ng foreign team na naglalaro regularly sa ating conference. Same issue, Waylon. Expectations mo sa pagpasok ng Bay Area Dragons sa Governor's Cup ng PBA. 1 minute, Way, go!
Ako ang feeling ko dyan, I'm very excited for the PBA, for the league. Kasi na-mention nga ni Chaser Jerry, bagong muka, fresh team kumbaga, bagong rekado. Pero bukod dun sa time ninyo na meron dalawang koponan, the last time I think na meron tayo mga Asian players na naglaro sa PBA was during the 2015 or 16 na meron tayong Asian imports, right, mga Korea. So ngayon, kumbaga, nagkaroon uli ang oportunidad ng PBA because of, the partnership with ESL and si Commissioner Willie Marshall, nagkaroon ng magandang deal for a foreign team, for a guest team para maglaro sa liga natin. So maganda yan dahil sabi nga ni Chaser Jerry, makikita natin kung ano at paano na ba maglaro ang mga Chinese, yung from Hong Kong, from Taiwan. So maganda ito for the PBA dahil matetest natin kahit pa paano dahil alam natin there have been calls na yung magkaroon tayo ng magandang laban against these neighboring countries.
Well, sabi nga nila, bagong putahe is always welcome. And ako, maganda rin ang aking feeling. Ang sana lang, ito hindi lamang dun sa pagpasok ng Bay Area Dragon. Sana ito magbukas sa isipan ng PBA na talagang i-open ang liga more sa mga foreign at ibang teams. No? Can you imagine kung naglalaro dyan ng Gilas, kung naglalaro dyan ng ibang mga foreign teams in one conference, totally different from the Philippine Cup. Talagang yan ang paraan para talagang buhayin, magkaroon ng bagong options naman at putahe ang ating mga fans. But definitely, welcome development ang paglalaro ng Bay Area Dragons sa PBA. Gentlemen, naku talaga ang dami natin na paghuntahan sa maikling panahon. Dapat 2 oras Kasama na kayo dito sa chase down on power and play or baliktad, power and play with chase down, di ba?
Pwede, Kom.
Gawin nating 4 na oras, sabihin natin kay Ma'am Shena. Alright. Maraming salamat, Jerry at Waylon.
Thank you,
We'll see you
Always
later
an
sa chase
honor.
down. Maraming salamat.
Salamat.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mga kaibigan, ating mga kaibigan, Jerry Ramos ng Spin.ph and of course, Waylon Galvez ng Manila Bulletin and of course, Chase Down. Mamaya pong 2:00 yan dito sa 1PH sa Signal. Alright, mga kaibigan. Tuloy-tuloy po tayo. Bago tayo mag-break, isa muna pong paalala mula sa mga kaibigan natin sa Smart. Puso Pilipinas is a movement to celebrate the Filipino athlete powered by Smart. Follow them on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Get a chance to win exclusive Puso Pilipinas merch by sharing their Facebook page in your social media accounts with hashtag Puso Pilipinas. The Giga Life app is the latest mobile app from Smart that lets you discover and enjoy your passions with the different Giga promos. It can be downloaded and used by Smart Postpaid, Smart Prepaid, Bro Prepaid, and TNT subscribers via the Apple, Google, or Google Play Store. What can the Giga Life app do for me? Check your balance, monitor your current subscription, top up using debit, credit card, subscribe to the latest Giga promos, monitor your data consumption, auto-detect your mobile number when you are connected to Smart Network, one-tap subscription to the most popular offer, Giga Video 99. And of course, Power and Play is powered by Smart. Alright mga kaibigan, when we come back, makakausap natin ang bagong governor ng pinakabagong team ng PBA, Converge, si former Commissioner Chito Salud. Ito po ang Power and Play hatid sa inyo ng Cherry Loom, Cherry Tigo at ng Chooks to Go. Ang oras po natin, 8:37 ng umaga. This time check is brought to you by Birmingham Subdivisions. Come home to Birmingham.
I dare to dream big, to be a voice of my generation, to inspire resilience in the face of roadblocks. And in sharing my stories, I let others share in my passion.
Follow Kai's stories on Twitter and share yours. With Smart Double Giga Stories. Share 2 times the passion with 2 gigabytes for Twitter and more. Guaranteed every day, plus data for all sites.
Simple, smart ako.
Alex, are you ready to have some fun on your first driving lesson?
Nag-uumapaw sa real chicken juice na swak sa panlasa ng buong pamilya. Available in sweet roast, pepper roast, at harissa roast variants. Chooks to Go. Masarap kahit walang sauce. Tawag na sa Chooks to Go Delivery Hotline 8687-1010 o online sa chookstogodelivery.com or via GrabFood at Foodpanda.
Time to make breakfast, kiddo.
Let's go! Ham time!
Make a meaty sweet breakfast with Lady's Choice Ham Spread. Made with real meat and farm-fresh eggs.
Sarap!
Lady's Choice Ham Spread. Meaty sweet sarap.
Basta man siya, di kailangan ng mamahaling panlaba.
Sa Surf, linis ay todo at aming best ever bango. Ang Surf na gamit nyo na with our best ever bango. Sa Surf, linis ay todo at aming best ever
ever bango versus previous formulations. Todo linis na singgaling na mamahalin based on technical test versus Brand X powder on polyester.
Ang surf na gamit nyo, todo linis at aming best ever bango.
Nak, let's make breakfast na.
Okay, chicken time!
Enjoy a meaty linamnam morning with Lady's Choice Chicken Spread. Made with real chicken and farm-fresh eggs.
Sarap!
Ladies' Choice Chicken Spread. 10 pesos lang SRP.
The long wait is over. New season, new home. Catch the UAAP Season 84 starting March 26 on One Sports and UAAP Varsity Channel.
Time to make breakfast, kiddo.
Let's go! Ham time!
Make a meaty sweet breakfast with Lady's Choice Ham Spread. Made with real meat and farm-fresh eggs.
Sarap!
Ladies' Choice Ham Spread. Meaty sweet sarap.
Basta man siya, di kailangan ng mamahaling panlabas.
Sa surf, linis ay todo at aming best ever bango. Ang surf na gamit nyo na with our best ever bango. Sa surf, linis ay todo at aming best ever bango. Ang surf na gamit nyo, todo linis at aming best ever bango.
New Surf with Active Clean with our best ever bango versus previous formulations. Todo linis na singgaling na mamahalin based on technical test versus Brand X powder on polyester.
Ang surf na gamit nyo, todo linis at aming best ever bango.
Nak, let's make breakfast na.
Okay, chicken time!
Enjoy a meaty linamnam morning with Lady's Choice Chicken Spread. Made with real chicken and farm-fresh eggs.
Sarap!
Ladies' Choice Chicken Spread. 10 pesos lang SRP.
Mukhang kailangan ko na naman palitan ng bubong ko, pare. Mag-iisang taon pa lang yan. May tulo na kagad.
Ay, bossing! Baka naman kasi hindi matibay yung ginamit nyo. Dapat ang gamitin mo ay cherry loom, ang yerong aluminum. Basta yero, cherry loom. Tibay protektado sa pangmatagalang yero.
Noli Iyala Power and Play sa Radyo 5 92.3 News FM.
Muli po isang magandang umaga sa inyo lahat mga kapatid. Binabati ko rin po lahat ng mga nanonood dyan sa San Pablo City, lalong-lalo na sa SPC Medical Center, dyan sa emergency room. Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. Binabati ko nga pala ang aking kumare si Ingrid Mendoza. Good morning, always naka-tune in yan. And of course si Tita Tina Tan, good morning sa inyo. Well, dami nating nakatutok na ngayong umagang ito and we certainly are very happy na kasama namin kayong lahat po ngayong umagang ito. Alright, kanina po pinag-uusapan natin ang bagong koponan ng PBA. Ito po yung Converge ICT Solutions. Sila po ang pumalit sa Alaska Aces na nagpaalam na nga after decades of playing in the PBA. Of course, nailipat, naibenta ang prangkisa ng Alaska sa koponan o sa kumpanya ng Converge. And ngayong araw pong ito, kamustahin natin ang pinakabagong team. Ano ba ang mga plano nila at ano ba ang naging rason sa kanilang pagpasok sa PBA? At ang mamumuno ng kanilang franchise sa PBA Board of Governors ang ating makakasama po ngayon. Siya po ang dating commissioner ng PBA at presidente at CEO ng PBA and of course, a very good friend of mine. Walang iba kundi si Commissioner Chito Salud. Magandang umaga, Com Chito!
Magandang umaga, Com Noli. Kumusta ka na? Long time no see.
Ikaw nga, long time no see. Bigla kitang nakita na sumulpot ka na sa press ko na ako'y natutuwa. You're looking good, partner. Unang-una, I hope you've taken good care of yourself habang tayo ay nasa pandemya.
Well, I tried to. I have been good, Nolly, and it's nice to be back.
Well, it's good to have you back, really, partner. Talagang natutuwa ako na makita ka muli. Let me ask you first, before I go to Converge, you were, of course, part of the PBA and you were able to see how Alaska became an institution, a team that was a productive member of the PBA. Com Chito, ano sa tingin mo ang legacy na iniwan ng Alaska sa PBA?
Legacy of winning and a legacy of decency. The way Fred steered that company, no? And that franchise in the PBA, unbelievable, Nolly. You know that.
Well, alam natin na talagang ang Alaska was always about league first. Yun ang kagandahan ni Fred Uytengsu and it's certainly sad to see them go. But now there is a new team, and that is the Converge ICT Solutions na ikaw ang magiging bagong governor, Kume Chito. Let me ask you, paano napasok sa eksena dito ang Converge? Who approached to? Kwento mo nga sa amin, who approached to dito sa inyong usapan sa Alaska?
Well, Nolly, if you remember, there was an announcement on February 16, no, that Alaska was going to withdraw already from the PBA. The next day, Dennis Anthony Uy gave me a call and was inquiring about Alaska. In essence, he was really very, very enthusiastic about it. And he saw that PBA remained to be unparalleled in terms of being a marketing and advertising vehicle, no? Build branding, no? You know that. That's PBA's forte, no? Build branding for our member teams. And so he expressed his interest, and I said, well, let me make some inquiries because I've been out of the PBA, Nolly, for, for 7 years.
Right.
And that's how it started.
All right. And you made the inquiry, and then, so in other words, ito came out of the blue. Wala itong plano ninyo, or you were not involved in any of the plans prior to that call that Mr. Dennis Anthony Uy gave you. This came out of nowhere at nagsimula lamang yan when the announcement of Alaska came in February.
Previous discussions before the announcement of...
Wala silang plano, Chito? Wala silang plano nun?
None at all. Well, at least I wasn't involved. Maybe you can ask Dennis that when he comes on.
But so, when you got that call, what was the role that was given to you? Were you already being told, if ever we come in, ikaw na ang gagawin namin governor, Kume Chito?
No. He was asking about how the PBA operated, no, as an association, what the revenues were, what were the sources of our revenues, Nolly. So I explained it to him, and he said, okay, can you find out how we can get in? I explained to him the process, and we determined the hurdles. As you know, Nolly, before any transaction can be approved, there are certain hurdles that you have to overcome.
Did you sense the seriousness as well as the eagerness in Mr. Uy nung kayo nag-usap, that very first instance?
Yes. But at the same time, he knew that there could be some resistance. Converge is a telco. Nolly, you know how it is how it is in the PBA, no? So floaters were sent, and as I said in our press con, Dennis was very, very happy with the sporting gesture of the MVP group, no?
Yeah,
that was really a showcase of a sporting spirit, no, in allowing Converge to come in.
Well, alam natin that it is a competitor of the mother company ng TNT. So I mentioned it in a...
That's PLDT.
Oh, exactly.
PLDT,
both are internet providers. But, and I'll get to that point mamaya, Chito. But let me ask you, anong advice ang binigay mo? When he inquired about entering the PBA, what was the advice that you gave him specifically? And did you encourage him to join?
Of course, because I'm still a firm believer in the PBA. It's unparalleled in terms of brand building, no? And we both agreed that the process of his entry of Converge ought to be seamless, no? The PBA was not in a position to suffer another controversy. It was coming out of a pandemic, and we wanted to contribute to the progress of the PBA coming out of the pandemic. Ayaw natin may gulo, no? We wanted it seamless for Alaska. We wanted it to be smooth and seamless for the entire membership, out of our respect, out of Dennis' respect for the PBA and the member teams.
And then, of course, when your advice came, okay na, nagustuhan ni Dennis ang, at of course, kumbaga, napunuan yung kanyang enthusiasm and interest sa PBA. How did you connect, converge with Alaska and Mr. Roy Tengsu?
Fred was in the States. At the time, Fred was in Los Angeles, so we had to set up a Zoom meeting because the two gentlemen have not met each other previous to this. No? So a Zoom meeting was set up, and the two were introduced. They had a good talk, and after that, it was done. Not immediately, Nolly, but it was really the two of them who transacted this deal.
Was it a difficult transaction, Kume Chito? Nagkaroon ba ng mga questions? Nagkaroon ba ng konting problems or any hindrances to the deal?
Well, first, Converge is a publicly listed company. There are disclosure requirements, no? So my first request, and then is the first request to the PBA, was to keep this under wraps. No, let's keep it away from media first, because we wanted the two parties, the two gentlemen, to arrive at a meeting of their minds before anything can be announced to the public. So that's the first hurdle. Second hurdle, as I said before, was to make sure that the Board of Governors, who is the representative of the team owners, will be on board. We don't want Alaska and Converge coming to an agreement only to suffer a disapproval at the hands of the board, as you know.
So it's very important, of course, para sa isang kumpanya na sabi nyo nga, public listed, talagang hindi magkaroon ng ganyang klaseng mga balita if they were turned down. And obviously, that was not the case in this particular transaction. So let me ask, Kume Chito, a little bit of the details. I don't know if you're at liberty to disclose, but the news is that it was a 200 million franchise. Is that something that you can confirm, or that is not something that Converge would like to confirm?
As I told you, it's Fred and Dennis who had the transaction. I was not a part of that. So
okay.
If you want to ask him, maybe you can ask the two gentlemen.
But was this a lock, stock and barrel trade? Lahat, buong team, including, of course, alam natin yung mga kontrata, but including all the personnel, kasama ba yan?
Yeah, absorption was part of it, but we kept the option of being able to assess and evaluate the personnel, the coaching staff, the players, but the right is included. Nolly, this is not an expansion team.
Right.
Franchise transfer. So that's part of the deal.
So, walang binigay na concessions ang PBA dito, Chito, in terms of additional picks, additional any other bonuses that they can give. Walang binigay na sweetener ang PBA.
No, we didn't ask, because in fairness to the other members, Alaska's lineup is fairly competitive, no? And for us to come in and ask for direct hires and additional picks, etc., I knew that there would be some member teams that would be against that. And as I said, Dennis wanted me to make sure that the transaction was seamless and fair to everybody.
All right. So clearly, it is a full takeover of the Alaska Aces, and as you said, napakalakas naman yung team na yan at maganda ang future because they have enough picks to go around, because sinigurado naman yan ni Fred Tengsu when he was part of that team. So let me talk about the team composition, Kume Chito, no? Have you started the process of evaluating the team, the coaches, the players? Are you going to be involved in this particular process?
Well, we're leaving that up to the coaching staff, no?
Mhm.
But yes, my marching orders from Dennis and Grace. Grace is the president. Grace Louis is the president of Converge. This is a real tandem, Nolly. Not just in marriage, but in business. And believe me, they're in this together. My marching orders is to make this team competitive and a winning team in the shortest time possible. So the deal was done only this week. It was approved only last Tuesday. We had a meeting last Thursday with the team, and we'll have another meeting on Monday. So really, Nolly, umpisang-umpisa pa lang to, no? The process has just begun, but we will make sure that Converge will be competitive.
Competitive. Alam natin, Kume Chito, that since this is a takeover team, wala kayo nung tinatawag sa mga expansion teams na commitment na 5 years, no? So in terms of goals for the team, what are you looking at? Anong nakikita mo dito, Kume? Immediately, you're looking at entering the semifinals and the finals. Is that part of the goal that you want to build and the mindset that you want to bring back sa Converge?
Definitely, no. We're aiming for the highest. As I said, Converge did not join the PBA just to be in the middle of the pack. No, we're going to form a team in time. No, it may not happen overnight, but in time, makakabuo kami ng team that would be dynamic, competitive, and exciting. You know, reflective of the values of this company, and this is to reciprocate the kind of welcome that the PBA gave Converge. We have to be able to contribute to the excitement, dynamism, and competition in the PBA.
Maganda yung sinabi mo yan, Kume Chito, no? In terms of that, of course, the fans are excited about this development. What can Converge offer to the fans na bago? Alam natin ang nangyari nung araw sa Pure Foods when they brought in a new team, all the fans were so excited to see a lot of players come together. Are you looking at making trades? Are you looking at getting stronger players para lalo pang palakasin ng Alaska? What is going to be new with the Converge team?
All of those things will be on the table, no? And remember, Nolly, we have 2 first-round picks.
Wow.
This coming draft. So we're really taking a look at our roster, checking our rotation, making sure that we have a good 8 to 10 man rotation, plus the 2 first-round picks and a very good import. And we're going all the way this season.
Palaban na yan. Alam niyo po mga kaibigan, kami ni Chito, ni Commissioner Chito, nung araw, kung kami ay nasa kolehiyo at nung kami po ay nag-aaral ng law, pareho po kami mahilig sa basketball. Talaga ho naglalaro kami ng basketball. Chito is a very good player, mga kapatid. Kaya po yung basketball, ay alam na alam yan ni Commissioner Chito Salud. So when he talks about constructing a good team, you can expect that this team is going to be really, really good. Kume Chito, in terms of the management staff, are you retaining Dicky Bachman as a manager or the rest of the team? Sino magiging team manager nitong Converge?
Dicky's staying on, no? Jeff Carriazo is staying on, but management is really desirous of helping him strengthen the coaching staff. Now, as to the players, we're reviewing the players right now, and we're asking for the wish list of the coaching staff, and hopefully move forward from there.
All right.
That's where we are, Nolly. It's only been a week, no?
Pero alam mo naman,
this is a whole process.
Alam mo naman, Chito,
we want to be scientific about this.
Pagbago, laging na-excite ang tao. And I'm very happy that there is something that's, the narratives, and we know this in the PBA. Basta marami na pag-uusapan, it's good for the league. It always keeps the interest alive, no? Kume Chito, no? Isa naming pinag-uusap. Andiyan ba si Kume? Chit? Okay, mukhang Com?
I'm here.
Okay. Medyo nag-off camera ka yata. Yan. Okay. Com, dito sa kanina, ginagawa namin, we have a survey here kung anong magandang moniker na ibibigay sa Converge ICT Solutions sa PBA. No? So, ang daming mga suggestions na sa amin. But is there an official moniker already that Converge will carry into the new season? Medyo tingnan natin mukhang na-off yung signal. Konting technical problems. Tingnan natin po mga kaibigan. We will wait. Again, we're talking to former Commissioner Chito Salud. Ngayon siya po ang governor ng PBA governor ng Converge ICT Solutions, ang pinakabagong kuponan. There you go. Kasama na po natin muli si Com Chito. Chito, I was asking, kasi meron kami survey dito kung anong magandang moniker ng team ninyo Meron na bang official moniker ang Converge? Okay, audio lang. We cannot hear the audio. Ulitin natin yan. Com? Wala pa rin. Okay, ulitin natin Pa-refresh natin yung signal ni Commissioner Chito. Ang ganda ng usapan pong ito Again, ang Converge po, ang bagong koponan. Ang dami nang nasabi ni Chito Salud tungkol sa mga plano nila. Ang marching order is to make this team competitive. Naku, ang bigat nun and of course, ang kanila is it is part of the process na pagpapasalamat nila sa PBA na maging competitive ang team because alam naman ni Commissioner Chito bilang dating PBA commissioner na napakahalaga ng maging malakas ang mga kuponan para po lalong magkaroon ng interes ang mga fans sa liga, no? Napakahalaga po niyan, And alright, mukhang nagpapalit lamang ng si Com Chito dahil mukhang naglo-low bat. Pero tingnan natin kung makukuha pa natin. Ang dami pa natin gustong itanong. Ayan, alright. Com, can you hear me? Hanapin ulit natin At again, ang sinasabi po natin ni Commissioner Chito dito right away. They have to be competitive. Right away, they will be gunning for a title and they are evaluating their lineup. Meron nga sila sinasabing meron silang 2 first round picks. Again, they will use this judiciously and hopefully makabuo sila ng mas malakas pa na koponan. When you look at that team ng Alaska, napakarami pa pong player niya na mahuhusay. Nandiyan pa si Abu Tratter, nandiyan si Jeron Teng. Okay na. Ayan, Com, okay ka na? Com Chito? Let's see. Mukhang yung audio na lang niya. Audio na lang. Again, kausap po natin is Chito Salud, ang bagong governor ng Converge ICT Solutions. I wanna ask, meron akong gustong tanongin about the composition, of course, and the team itself. No? And this is going to be very interesting dahil alam naman po natin na ang Alaska was one of the independent teams. Hindi po sila kasama ng isang grupo at ng grupo po ng San Miguel Group and of course ng MVP Group, no? Sige, we'll try ulit kung makukuha natin. Com, are you okay? Naka-mute ka yata, Com Chito? Naka-mute lang? Naka-mute? Sayang at we have a few more minutes para makausap natin si Commissioner Chito Salud. Subukan natin Santi. Sayang naman at naka-mute. Com Chito, naka-mute ka daw. So let's see if we can get you back on the show. Mga kaibigan mamaya po naman ang ating makakausap is Tab Baldwin. Abangan nyo po yung napakaganda nating interview with Coach Tab Baldwin at ang kanyang thoughts about the Ateneo Blue Eagles. Pero napahapyawan natin. Actually, ayaw magsalita. Ayaw ni Coach Tab sana na magsalita tungkol sa Gilas. But napahapyawan natin kahit konti. Alright, let's bring back Commissioner Chito Salud ng Converge ICT Solutions. Com Chito? Naku, umalis na naman. Mukhang lumabas siya sa ating signal. Sayang, because we have a few more questions to ask, inaayos lang niya yung mga pangyayari. Bago natin balikan si Commissioner Chito, ha. Again, paalala po sa lahat po ng ating mga tagapakinig at tagapanood, nagsisimula na po ang pre-taped opening ceremony ng Season 84 ng UAAP sa One Sports. Panoorin po niyo yan, ha. Ang opening ng UAAP season, finally, after 2 years na nawala sila. And of course, mamaya pong alas 10 after our show, panoorin niyo po, sunod-sunod na laban yan ng UAAP ngayong araw na ito. 4-game schedule para sa opening ng UAAP. Of course, sa Lunes, magsisimula na rin po ang quarterfinals ng PVL. Naku, napakaganda rin po ng mga laro dyan. Abangan nyo po yan dito rin sa One Sports. And of course, ang semifinals ng PBA bukas ulit maglalaban. Ginebra kontra NLEX. And of course, Meralco kontra Magnolia. Tingnan natin kung maibabalik pa natin si Commissioner Chito. Chito? Can you hear me? Parang nakamute Nakamute. Are you muted? Nakamute yata or sa Bluetooth. Nakikita po natin yung sa Radyo 5, nakikita po natin ang video ni Chito pero wala po siyang audio. Alright, let's take a quick break. Balikan po natin si Commissioner Chito after this break. Ang oras po natin 9:06 in the morning. Ito po ang oras pong ito. Hatid sa inyo ng Birmingham Subdivisions. Come home to Birmingham.
I dare to dream big. To be a voice of my generation. To inspire resilience in the face of roadblocks. And in sharing my stories, I let others share in my passion.
Follow Kai's stories on Twitter and share yours. With Smart Double Giga Stories. Share 2 times the passion with 2 gigabytes for Twitter and more. Guaranteed every day, plus data for all sites.
Simple, smart ako.
Alex, are you ready to have some fun on your first driving lesson?
Nag-uumapaw sa real chicken juice. Naswak sa panlasa ng buong pamilya. Available in sweet roast, pepper roast, at harissa roast variants. Chooks to go. Masarap kahit walang sauce. Tawag na sa Chooks to Go Delivery Hotline 8687-1010 o online sa chookstogodelivery.com or via GrabFood at Foodpanda.
Time to make breakfast, kiddo.
Let's go! Ham time!
Make a meaty sweet breakfast with Lady's Choice Ham Spread, made with real meat and farm-fresh eggs.
Sarap!
Lady's Choice Ham Spread, meaty sweet sarap.
Basta man siya, di kailangan ng mamahaling panlaba.
Sa surf, linis ay todo at aming best ever bango. Ang surf na gamit nyo na with our best ever bango. Sa surf, linis ay todo at aming best ever bango. Ang surf na gamit nyo, todo linis at aming best ever bango.
New Surf with Active Clean with our best ever bango versus previous formulations. Todo linis na singgaling ng mamahalin based on technical test versus Brand X powder on polyester.
Ang surf na gamit nyo, todo linis at aming best ever bango.
Nak, let's make breakfast na.
Okay, chicken time!
Enjoy a meaty linamnam morning with Lady's Choice Chicken Spread, made with real chicken and farm-fresh eggs.
Sarap!
Lady's Choice Chicken Spread, 10 pesos lang SRP.
Mukhang kailangan ko na naman palitan ng bubong ko, pare. Mag-iisang taong pa lang yan. May tulo na kagad.
Ay, bossing! Baka naman kasi hindi matibay yung ginamit nyo. Dapat ang gamitin mo ay cherry loom, ang yerong aluminum. Basta yero, cherry loom. Tibay protektado sa pangmatagalang yero.
Broadcasting live from TV5 Media Center. 25,000 watts ng balita, impormasyon, serbisyo, DWFM, Radyo 5, 92.3, News FM.
Power and Play Team na sa Radyo 5 92.3 News FM. Power and Play with Noli Iyala.
Alright, nagbabalik po tayo dito sa Power and Play. Kasama pa rin po natin si Commissioner Chito Salud, ang bagong governor ng Converge ICT Solutions. Chito, I have a few questions. Can you hear me now? Narinig mo na ako?
Yes, again.
Alright. Sabi ko, ito yung huli kong question sa iyo eh. Meron kaming konting survey dito about a new moniker for the Converge team. Ano ba talaga ang official? Meron na bang official moniker na dadalhin ng Converge?
Wala pa, Noli. April 5, team launch. That's when our marketing team will announce the team moniker. So, I really don't know. And team colors, Noli.
Okay, team colors. Maganda rin yan, no? Makita natin kung anong kulay yan. Baka parang, Los Angeles Lakers, purple. Pero alam mo, Chito, ang dami ng mga pangalan dito. Converge Agents, Converge Internets, Converge Cyberspacers. Ang mga fans nagbibigay ng kanila. Converge FiberX Factors, Netmasters, Net Wizard, Internet Links, ang dami. So, we can submit this to you and you can take a look at and submit this to your marketing dahil ang mga fans are getting involved in the team. And it's a good sign for Converge dahil talagang maraming fans ang Alaska din dati.
Maraming salamat, Noli. And sa fans, maraming salamat din. And we're hoping pag sinabit mo sa amin yan, Noli, hindi pa copyrighted yan, ha?
Hindi naman. Basta, pagka ginamit mo, sabihin mo, galing sa mga fans ng Power and Play.
Thank you. Thank you talaga. Maraming salamat po.
Chito, I have a few questions left and I want to ask this. Alam naman natin na ang Alaska was known to be one of the independent teams, quote-unquote, in the PBA dahil hindi sila kasama ng isang conglomerate, no? And now Converge has taken over that particular franchise. Many are asking how independent, at least especially in terms of policy making, in terms of competitiveness, in terms of building a team, how independent will Converge be sa PBA?
Well, in terms of running its own team, it will be as independent can be. Now, when it comes to collaborating with the PBA, it will be collegial. We intend to be a strong and active member of the PBA, and we want to make sure that the PBA is successful because this will be Converge's platform in building its brand.
All right. Well, I want to ask this. I know that there are dalawang gateway lang ng dito sa Pilipinas, which is really PLDT and Globe, no, when it comes to providing internet. And there is some people saying na ang Converge is actually a client of PLDT. Is that going to affect anything here in terms of the business relationships? Will it affect the sports side of the team?
Well, I think it will bring more excitement, for the fans. Imagine rivalry, as Al Panlilio said when we had the conversation. It's good for the league that telcos are in the same league. So, business competition, sports competition, good for everyone.
All right. Well, alam ko, Commissioner Chito, that you were very, very, you were one of the biggest reasons for bringing out this free agency rule ng PBA. You were one of the authors and architects nitong ngayon ay ginagamit na ng PBA na unrestricted free agency ng mga players. Your thoughts on this so far na nakikita mo, is this everything that you wanted when this was passed during your time?
Of course, Nolly. We like this, no? Because as you know, before the unrestricted free agent policy was approved, dalawang gateway lang ang pwedeng gamitin ng mga teams to improve yung draft at saka yung trade. Ngayon, this is another avenue for them, no? Yung unrestricted without the right of first refusal.
Mhm.
So, napakagandang nito, development para sa atin. And that was crafted, 7-8 years ago ba?
Yes.
During our time, yeah. Correct.
Well, is there any concern on your part about parity sa liga now that you are going to be running a team rather than running the league? Ikaw ngayon ay nasa parte na ng koponan. Is there any concern on your part about, the balance of the league?
Well, competitive balance, Nolly, is always an ongoing task. You know that. You tried to do that. I tried to do that. And it doesn't stop. It never stops. It's an ongoing task, and the office of the commissioner is on it. Willie Marshall must be on it and make sure that all the teams have the opportunity to improve their respective lineups.
Bilang dating commissioner ng PBA, Com Chito, do you think it's an advantage for you now that you are a governor and helping out on the Converge team sa kanilang pagpasok dito? Will it help you and the team having that experience as a former commissioner?
Oh, well, I hope so. No, my experience would really be more in policy making. No, but I will be involved in every detail of strengthening this team, Nolly. Of course, we know that the X's and the O's, that belongs to the professionals, no? The coaches. But with full management support, this team will be competitive.
Alam mo, nabanggit ko kanina kasama ng ating mga kaibigan sila Waylon Galvez at si Jerry Ramos, how I find all the signs to be very positive sa entry ng Converge. And one sign is that you are there at the helm nitong team na to. I know your passion for the game. I know your passion for the league, all the way from Commissioner Rudy and to you. And of course, your dedication and your commitment to excellence, Com Chito. And so I'm very happy that you are back in the PBA. My final question to you is, are you happy to be back in the PBA?
Yes, and I'm very proud and very elated, although in a different capacity. No, we will make sure that Converge will be a prominent, active member of the PBA, and we will form an exciting, dynamic, competitive team for the fans as our way of showing the PBA and the fans, as our way of giving back to the community.
Com Chito, maraming salamat sa panahon binigay mo sa amin this morning. A lot of things have been answered and a lot of things still remain uncertain. But we certainly will be looking forward to all of these questions being answered in the next few weeks. And again, pag nakuha mo yung moniker namin, ikaw nang balang magsabi na ito ay galing sa mga fans. Maraming salamat, Com Chito, sa panahon.
Salamat. Thank you for having me.
Mga kaibigan, ang dating PBA Commissioner at ngayon ay Governor ng Converge ICT Solutions sa pinakabagong team sa PBA, Commissioner Chito Salud. Thank you. Thank you, Com. Well, a lot of great things, of course, na napag-usapan namin ng aking kaibigan si Chito. We've been through so much kami ni Chito. We go back a long ways, and I'm just happy to see him back in the PBA. Alright, mga kaibigan, tuloy-tuloy po tayo dito sa Power and Play. Bago tayo pumunta sa ating susunod na guest, gusto ko lang po magpasalamat muna sa ating mga tagapagtaguyod. Unahin ko po, of course, ang Cherry Loom, ang yerong may aluminum sa ganitong pabago-bago ang panahon na mga kababayan, napakainit tapos biglang ulan. Kailangan natin ng matibay at protektadong bubong. Dapat ang bubong ay yerong may aluminum kapag may aluminum tiyak na pang matagalan. At isa lang ang alam kong dekalidad na yerong may aluminum, yan ang Cherry Loom, tibay protektado sa pang matagalang yero. Cherry Loom, ang yerong may aluminum. Maraming salamat, paring Elmer Ngo. Thank you also to Cherry Tigo. Saluhin ang swerteng hatid ng Year of the Tiger. Own a brand new Tigo 2 Pro crossover with the Cherry's Year of the Growling Tigo promo. Sa halagang 68,000 low down payment, may sporty 5-seater ka na safe in any road condition dahil mas mataas ang ground clearance nito kaysa sedan. Spacious din ang seats at legroom kaya mas komportable, mapa-driver or passenger. May 9-inch infotainment system pa na pwedeng i-connect sa Mirror Link and Apple CarPlay para mas convenient at chill ang travel mo. Pili na from the 6 lucky colors of Tigo 2 Pro: Passion Orange, Lava Red, Graphite Gray, Vivid White, Tuscan Beige, at Laser Yellow. Hashtag move for more colors and adventure. Bisitahin ang www.cherryauto.ph to know more about the fun-to-drive Tigo 2 Pro. Maraming din salamat of course sa Chooks to Go, ang nag-iisang manok ng bayan. Puntahan niyo po ang mga branches ng Chooks to Go, lalong-lalo na po ang kanilang branch dyan sa Robinson's Place, Lipa, Batangas, kung saan meron na po tayong Chooks to Stay at the Chooks First Dine-In Restaurant of Chooks to Go. Again, sa Robinson's Place po yan sa Lipa, Batangas. At of course, kunin nyo ang kanilang quarter chicken with Only Chooks Rice and Soup. Chooks to Go, ang nag-iisang manok ng bayan.
Thank you!
Joyride, ang bago ninyong kasundo.
Thank you!
Magpadala with confidence kahit para sa negosyo o personal bulk deliveries man yan. Kayang-kaya yan i-deliver securely with Joyride. At ngayon, abangan nyo na po ang Joyride car. Malapit na. So download the latest Joyride Super App now. Elms Seafood Paluto, the latest offering of the Elms Resto Bar Group, located at Unit 2, Ground Floor, Calle Bistro, Ever, Commonwealth, Quezon City. Enjoy their delectable seafood menu in a relaxed casual dining atmosphere for your salo-salo seafood meal. Visit also Carlito Sisig Seafood Paluto along Shaw Boulevard. Elms Resto Bar Group, maraming salamat kay Ma'am Malu Iyambao.
Thank you!
Birmingham Subdivisions, come home to Birmingham.
Thank you!
Located at Antipolo, Cainta, General Trias, Cavite, Marikina, Pasig, Rodriguez, San Mateo, and Tagaytay. Building community since 1984. Celebrate your new home, your home in Birmingham Subdivisions. Check out their FB page or call 0939-921-7458 or 891-27731. Thank you so much kay Mr. and Mrs. Jimmy Hernandez.
Thank you!
Asea Subic Beach Resort. Experience the getaway that you deserve. And dive into limitless happenings, rejuvenating experiences, and gastronomic adventures. Asea Subic Beach Resort. Thank you so much, paring Romel Sitin. And of course, Power and Play would like to thank Lick Hobby. Weave by Weave, hand in hand. Check out their IG pages. And Power and Play is powered by Smart. Live Smart. Maraming salamat of course sa Derm Clinic kay Doktora Angela Pineda. Alright, mga kaibigan, bago tayo tumungo sa ating huling guest for today, pasok muna natin ang ating isang paboriting segment dito kung saan ating pong titingnan ang pop culture at online video sa palakasan. Ito po ang Stop and Pop. Ang Stop and Pop po natin ngayong linggong ito ay isang napakagandang halimbawa kung bakit ang sports ay hindi lamang laro. Panoorin po natin ito. Sa videong ito ng Zeeland Public School sa Michigan, USA, makikita ang isang babaeng may stick, yung pong patpat, na hinahampas-hampas ang likod ng ring. Yung pala, ito po ay guide, giya sa isang estudyanteng bulag para makapag-shoot ng bola at para mapasaya itong batang ito. At ang sumunod na eksena pagkatapos pong bumanda ang tira at pumasok, magical to say the least. Pambihira talaga ha. Yan po ang patunay na basketball is bigger than life. At yan po ang ating Stop and Pop moment sa Power and Play. Alright mga kaibigan, ang ating pong susunod na makakapanayam ay isang tao na matagal na nating hinanap. Maraming napag-usapan nung siya po ay nasa Gilas. He did not want to talk about Gilas. he wanted to talk about the UAAP and he talked a lot about the Ateneo Blue Eagles and the coming season na magbubukas po ngayon. Mga kaibigan, ang ating susunod na panauhin ang head coach ng Ateneo Blue Eagles sa In the Spotlight. Kasama po natin Coach Tab Baldwin ng Ateneo Blue Eagles. And truly, it's an honor to have with us today on the show no other than Coach Tab Baldwin, the head coach of the Ateneo Blue Eagles. It's been a long time, Coach Tab. Thank you for joining us on Power and Play.
Great to see you again, Noli. It has been a long time, and I've certainly missed you and a lot of the people in the media, you know, a lot of the friends. But it's great to be with you tonight, and look forward to having a chat.
Well, it's a day away from the UAAP season, and obviously this is a long time coming after 2 years of hiatus. How do you feel, first of all, Coach Tab? We are
tired
of season 84.
Man, I'm tired. You know, the buildup has been compressed. The work has been intense. There's a lot of unknowns. You know, when you have players coming back from a 2-year layoff, you know, it's hard to kind of figure out where to start with them. I mean, we certainly knew they didn't have a good aerobic base, so we spent a lot of time on the track. You don't know if that's too much time or too little time, because all of that time takes away from the building up of your systems. We didn't get any of the normal time that we spend working on individual development, and which is really, I believe, the core of our program. So it's been a lot of guesswork. It's been a lot of work. And of course, living in a bubble away from home, that creates its own stresses, its own psychological issues, if you will. And so trying to balance all of that and still build a team that we want to be competitive, and a team competitive for a championship has been a difficult task. But credit to the young men, credit to my coaching staff. Everybody is stuck to the task, and so tomorrow we see where we're at.
It'll be interesting to see what that state is for the Blue Eagles. But your reaction to some of the people who say that, you know, first of all, everyone didn't have that time, but Ateneo actually was even better, or was luckier, because you got to play, at least some of your players got to play in the national team in the last year.
Yeah, you know, I mean, potentially a blessing in disguise, but potentially also a curse in disguise, because, you know, they come in at a different level. Certainly the experience, being on the court, the fitness that they would have maintained through those trainings with Gilas are an advantage. But then we had 2 tiers of players when everybody arrived. We had some that were more ready to go, and others that weren't so ready to go, or were far from ready to go. And then, of course, Anj Kawami spent more time with Gilas, so he missed that time with the team when we were trying to build the team. So, you know, like most things in life, you know, there's pros and cons to it. And I know that every team in the UAAP has had its challenges. So there's nobody, you know, crying in their spilled milk. I don't hear any of the other teams making excuses. So we're certainly not going to either. And I think we're all going on the court tomorrow to just see where we're at. And, you know, I think the coaches are all hoping for the best. I don't know what anybody is expecting, but certainly we're all hoping for the best.
I mean, you know, clearly the time for the team to get together was very limited because of all of the IATF protocols. And, you know, the alert levels were only lifted late in February and, of course, in early March. How did you cope with the limitations of training? How did you shortcut things? And, you know, are you concerned about, for instance, you mentioned about conditioning, but are you concerned about injuries directly?
Extremely, and not just injuries. Let me say that I think we've been through that phase for the most part. I read a lot I studied a lot. I looked at a lot of sports physiology during the break, knowing that break was getting longer and longer for the players. I watched what was going on in Europe with particularly the soccer clubs that were coming back after 9-month, 1-year layoffs, because they're very professional. And they had a lot of problems, and they had a lot of concerns, and they had a lot of health issues, and they had a lot of mental issues. So reading up on all of that, you know, I didn't feel like an expert at all as we prepared and I discussed with, you know, my assistant coaches getting ready to start. But we took a very slow approach to the beginning of our trainings in the bubble. Back in, I think, late January, we were allowed to come in the bubble. We were out on the track. We didn't do anything other than distance running to try and establish some aerobic base, and that takes time. It took about 3 weeks before I was satisfied that we could move on from that. So that was 3 weeks of aerobic running, going on the court, and doing some skill work and shooting. And we didn't do anything apart from that. A little bit of introductory system work, but nothing live. We didn't play at all 3-on-3, 1-on-1, 5-on-5 for the first 3 weeks. And that was all precautionary. And at the same time, when I joined the bubble, I had 9 players on the court, which means I had 13 players out with COVID at that time.
Wow.
Either close contact or tested positive. At the end of the first bubble, I had 8 players on the court, and I had 14 players out with injury. So that was, you know, and I don't think that what we went through is any different than what other teams went through. I don't know that. But it was all guesswork, Noli, and very, very uncomfortable with that, and not at all comfortable where we are at yet as a team. Nonetheless, let's have some fun and let's play some games and let's get life back to normal.
Well, that's what everyone is looking forward to, obviously, to see all the teams back on the court and, of course, all their favorite players. Talking about the players and the team, I want to talk about that just a little bit here, Tab. You know, you've lost some players. Of course, Will Navarro, Dwight Ramos are gone. But basically, and you picked up a lot of young players, a lot of new players as well, and you've got your core as well. Outside of the preparations, which obviously does not compare, how do you compare this team in terms of talent with the 2019 team that went perfect? And, you know, that never lost a game, and obviously, you know, becomes the barometer of many Ateneans that are going to watch the games this coming season.
I think on a, you know, man for man, talent for talent basis, I think that we're probably more talented now. We're less experienced. We don't have as many minutes played in the UAAP. We don't have as many crucial minutes played. We have players that have played some minutes, but they haven't been key players in key roles at key moments. And of course, there's a difference between just playing minutes and then playing those championship minutes. But I think purely on the basis of talent, I like what we've got. I think that the promise is, the future is very bright, very promising. Nonetheless, our cohesion, our fitness, our I guess collective ability right now is very subpar, in my opinion, and a big concern for me. But you know me, Noli, I've never entered a season feeling good about my team ever anyway, and I usually don't finish the season feeling that good about them either, other than the fact that, you know, maybe they've been successful on the board. But I always want improvement from the performances.
Well, you know, when you look at your lineup, you got a couple of 4 guys that are graduating this year. Obviously, vets, Rafi Verano, you got Jolo Mendoza, you got Tyler Teo, and of course, Gian Mamuyak. And then you've got some returning players like David Defonso, you've got Ange Kwame, and your Gilas stars, SJ Belangel, and so many other guys have had experience. Who among the vets do you think is going to get a bigger role this year for you, Coach Tab?
It's an interesting question, and you know, honestly, we have all the balls up in the air right now. You know, we're still juggling rosters, which 5 we think will be the most effective, which 5 will be the best defensive unit, which 5 will be perhaps the best at executing. But I really think that, the senior players that you mentioned, they have to step into the leadership void that was left with Matt and Mike Nieto principally,
Right.
because that's such a key role in our program and in our culture. And we've dubbed Gian Mamuyak as our captain, but a naturally quiet guy. He's sort of in the mold of a Vince Tolentino, who played for us a few years ago. Outstanding young man, all the leadership qualities you would want, but is not that vocal yet, and we need that vocal. Rafi Verano's done a good job trying to be more vocal with the team, but it's still something that's an evolving role for us. And I think it's a bit of a weakness for us right now, particularly if we come into situations, which I do expect, where games are going to be hanging in the balance. I'm not sure we have the finishers that we had in previous years. So there's a lot of questions, and a lot of those questions, Mark, hang directly over various individuals in the team.
You've got new recruits as well, young players, people, kids that came from the junior program, Fort Skip Padrigal, you got Joshua Lazaro. Of course, you got some overseas players that came over. If you look at that roster, on the other hand, who do you think among these new players could surprise?
I think right now probably Josh Lazaro is the one who's shaping up to have maybe a more significant role in the team. Forsky Padrigal is boy, he's a lot of fun to watch. He's an outstanding talent, but he really needs some time in the weight room to get some physical development. I know how the UAAP is. I know how these defenders from these other teams will, they'll come out and they'll attack him with physicality, and they may get some success if they do that. He's a tough kid mentally, but the physical side has to develop some more. Gabriel Gomez, who came to us from Italy, is showing a lot of signs. He doesn't have the fitness level that we would like right now, but I think as he gets into the season deeper and deeper, he's going to be a young player that gives us some quality minutes and some quality production.
Well, you mentioned Gabriel Gomez. Andrew Bongo is also part of this team, I believe, and you got some local transfers from other teams. The kid from Cebu, Kitevis, and of course Kyle Ong. Do you think that they will see some time with the team?
Well, Kyle and Sean Kentavis will be in our reserves, so only as COVID replacements. Andrew Bongo will not dress for this season. We will be saving him for the October season. So he's just making the adjustments that a lot of young players go through, particularly when they come from overseas. So the academics are something that he's adjusting to, and just the culture. And I don't think, again, the pandemic situation has helped him at all. But I really think that he and Kai Balungay coming into the team in October are going to be, players that a lot of people are going to be happy to see when they run out on the court with an Ateneo uniform on.
All right, that seems to be something that again a lot of the fans of the Ateneo Blue Eagles will look forward to. Tab, I mentioned how terrific your 2019 season was, perfect record, and you won the championship. You're third in a row, and now you're going for a four-peat. What kind of mindset do you put in your team? About obviously there's expectations are so high, just trying to match or even top that. How do you condition the boys going into a season like this after 2 years of not even playing?
Well, nobody likes the answer that I give to this question. But I believe in this answer. This isn't just psychobabble. That season belongs to that team. That three-peat belongs to those players, and many of those players are gone. This team hasn't accomplished anything yet. This team is 0-0. This team will perform on their own merits. They will get exactly what they deserve, wins or losses. And, we speak very much in these terms. So we're not on a winning streak. We're not on a consecutive championship streak. These guys have to carve out their own niche. And, they are, this is a rookie team in terms of playing together. They've never had a single game together. So, this is how we approach it. They will build their own destiny. And I'm part of that. The coaching staff is part of that. And this is a new endeavor for this team. So we don't look at it as anything historical, or we just don't allow that kind of talk. It's all step one, starting tomorrow.
Well, many of the observers have tagged Ateneo as the overwhelming preseason favorite for season 84. Is that more pressure on you? Do you feel more pressure?
I talked to the team tonight about pressure. I talked to them about the expectations of the alumni and the fans and the media and even the other coaches, even the opposing teams that will see us with the target on their back. All of those things are true. But I said that they walk in with pressure on them because the type of pressure they feel is that they will fail in front of all of these different observers, all of these people that have expectations of them. And I said, none of that pressure is real. The real pressure comes from within the team. And it comes in the form of, are they going to communicate on defense? Are they going to set screens? Are they going to get back in defensive transition? Because these are the things that actually they must do in order to make the team better. And that's where the real pressure is. Now, I know that we're humans, and I know that by virtue of being humans, we're going to feel the other psychological pressures of all the normal things that you're talking about. But I just don't know anybody in the history of any civilization who excelled or became great by giving in to their human nature. I think it's when we defy our human nature and we do the unexpected and we do the little things well that we're able to accomplish the big things. So this is the message that we gave to the team tonight.
You have a very tough schedule ahead, and it is a compressed schedule. You're playing
Funny,
UP.
man, huh?
Oh, you're playing UP in the opener. You're getting FEU after, and then Adamson, of course, is rebuilding. But then you're taking on De La Salle. I mean, first of all, give us your thoughts about your assessment of the field this year. When you look at the lineups, which teams do you think improved a lot going into season 84?
From the little that we know from the preseason games, it seems as FEU is playing very well. They've got an outstanding perimeter team that shoots the ball exceptionally well. And plus, when you have guards like Gonzalez and Torres and RJ Abarientos, there's a lot of weapons in the backcourt. And it looks like Olsen has done a good job bringing in depth as well, because I think that with such a tight schedule of games, fatigue is going to be something that climbs on all of our shoulders. So I think Olsen's done a very good job. It seems so from the preseason. UP has, again, a remarkable array of talent. I think people are really going to enjoy watching Xavier Lucero. He's a kid that we recruited very hard, but ultimately UP won the battle on Xavier, and he's a very exciting player. I think that on a pure talent basis, he might be one of the most exciting players in the UAAP in years. I would put him right there on par with a guy like Dwight Ramos, who obviously we never really got to see in the UAAP. And then they have, an array of other good players and a lot of familiarity from the NU high school team with Goldwyn, who's now coaching the team. So, they could present real problems, and we're going to find out tomorrow. As you said, LaSalle has done a great job recruiting. They've got, Mark Nonoy from UST. They've got Nene from San Beda. And Justin, my boy, Justin Baltazar, I can't wait to meet Balti again. People just don't realize how the bond that I created with Balti and Carl Tamayo, another one, these guys are they're such a blessing to the Philippine basketball landscape. I love these young men, and not looking forward to competing with them, but I'm certainly looking forward to giving them a hug and telling them I love them again. But LaSalle's going to be very good as well.
I'm going to get to those players in just a short while, but there are two things that I want to ask you. Do you think this will affect the play this season, not only for Ateneo, but for everyone? From the compressed schedule, as we talked about, and the playing without fans. Is that something that you think the players will miss?
They will. They will. I mean, the UAAP is a long, storied competition, and part of what makes it a great story is the involvement of the fans, is these, massive stadiums with these giant crowds at times, and, the rabid support from one university to the next. And it makes it a thrilling environment. I coached professional basketball for so long, Noli, but I don't think I ever had as much fun as I've had the last several years coaching UAAP, and that's certainly a big reason, is to play in front of these big crowds and with these young kids who get so excited. It's really a unique environment, and we'll miss that. But hopefully, by the start of the second round, we'll get crowds again.
Well,
the compressed schedule is going to be tough. I can't say I totally agree with it. I'm not sure that, all the powers that be really sat down and took into consideration the fitness level of the players, the conditioning level of the players coming off of a 2-year break, and, having a short build-up. I just hope we don't see players breaking down. Obviously, nobody wants that. I'm sure of that.
Right.
But nobody knows if that's going to happen. I think there is a risk of that. They've allowed us to have an extended roster, but only for COVID. But I suspect that we're going to see some shortened benches with injuries. I hope we don't. I hope it doesn't come back to bite us by trying to condense the schedule as much as we have. But again, we'll just have to wait and see how that plays out.
Well, it is what it is, but you're right. You even didn't have the benefit of playing in a fill oil tournament or a pre-tournament, just as you always do before a season. You're talking about missing some players. I want to talk about that. I know I told you that I would be careful about threading certain subject matter on this interview, but let me just ask you, because it will be a shame for me if I'm sure the fans are going to be asking me why I didn't even touch on it. But just one question, Tab. Do you miss Gilas at all?
Yeah, Noli, I do. I miss those players. There's always dreams and aspirations that you have as a coach, and even though I'm an old guy and I've been around for a long time, I had dreams and aspirations related to Gilas. But what I really miss are, the Carl Tamayos, the Justin Baltazars, the RJ Barrientos, the Elaine Bulanatis, the Ray Suarez. I can go on. Special guys that I spent a lot of time with. We did some special things, and, I miss them.
Well, the natural consequence of you leaving Gilas is, of course, you concentrated on Ateneo. I guess the question is, do you think that Ateneo truly benefited by your, just focusing on them and no longer being involved in the national team?
I would hope so. I mean, certainly, even if I had stayed with Gilas, I would have had divided loyalties, divided attention, for certain periods. I still would have focused on Ateneo because that's actually my job. But putting my entire focus on Ateneo, I would hope that they have benefited from that. If they haven't, I might have a hard time holding on to this job as well.
Yeah, the reason I ask that is because obviously one of the stated reasons in public is that you left Gilas to focus on Ateneo. And, I would have hoped and I would have thought that you could have done both anyway, but that's another matter. That's another time for us to to discuss, Tab. I know that that's something that right now may not be the right time to talk about.
No, let's stick to the excitement of UAAP and what that promises for all of us.
I got a couple of questions before I let you go. Do you think it is fair to expect that anything short of a title for the Ateneo Blue Eagles will not be a successful season?
Yes and no. I think it's unfair because I don't think that expectation of any team in the world anywhere takes into consideration all the things that can happen in the course of a season. And I talk about things particularly now like COVID or injuries or the unexpected emergence of a great team under a new coach at another university. So, but I also understand that when you carve out through success, through consistent, maintained success, a reputation that it's incumbent upon you to live with the expectation of that reputation. And I think that we have to do that. We have to live at least with the expectation of the reputation that we have built. And I think first and foremost, that means that we come and give our guts in every game. Because whether we want to talk about it or not, whether we want to agree with that or not, there are players who have before us who have built that reputation that we owe that to them, if nothing else. And I think that expectation should drive us to try to succeed where all the other expectations from the fans, alumni, and administrators and supporters, where all those expectations exist. But if we stay focused on, trying to live up to what our predecessors gave to us, then I don't think there's much more that we can do.
Well, fair enough. Tab, there will be two seasons, two tournaments this year in the UAAP. Season 84 and season 85 will be played also later this year. Is there, does that change the way you prepare? How does that affect you as well as the way you are trying to construct this team for this particular 2022?
Not really. Not really. We stay focused on, as we've always done, we try to stay focused on the next possession, the next play, the next quarter, the next game. We don't look too far down the track. We believe that if we have the right work ethic, the right culture, the right attitude, that the future takes care of itself. And the fact that there are two seasons this year, the only perspective that I have on that is I think that by the October season, I would expect us to be, with much of this lineup intact, I would expect us to be a much better basketball team at that time, having put in a year of work. Nonetheless, that's way in the future, and what we're doing right now is what is relevant to our work right now.
Well, as a parting shot, after you left Gilas, there was a lot of speculation, a lot of uncertainty, a lot of unanswered questions. But I want to ask you one thing, and this is related to Ateneo, of course, because there have been a lot of, as I mentioned, speculation about your future, even with the Ateneo Blue Eagles. So the question is, after the two seasons this year, are you staying on with the Ateneo program?
That's a great question. And I'd have to say, I'm on a contract. I'm on a multi-year contract. I wish contracts always meant, what they were meant to mean when you signed them, but sometimes that isn't the case. My future, I'm getting old, Noli. I'll be 64 pretty soon, and I see some fishing and sitting on a boat in my future sometime in the, I don't know, not too distant future maybe. But right now I have no plans to be anywhere other than on the court at Blue Eagle Gym and working with these young guys that I love so much. And I think they, in spite of my 64 years, I think they keep me younger and more vibrant than maybe I deserve to be. So if God allows it and the powers that be can put up with me, I have no plans to be anywhere else.
Well, that is music to the ears of many Ateneo fans, obviously. But obviously also, I guess when you hear chants of "We want Tab," in the arena, I think that also shows the kind of respect that you've created all over this country. Coach Tab, it's always a pleasure to have you on the show. Thank you so much.
Appreciate you, Noli. Always appreciate you. You are the standard setter in this thing, and I love talking to you, and I wish you all the best in your current endeavors. I know that your life has some new challenges, so God bless you and take care of you, and to all of your listeners.
Yan po mga kaibigan ng ating panayam kay Coach Tab Baldwin, head coach ng Ateneo Blue Eagles, and of course yung kanilang upcoming season sa UAAP na magsisimula na ha. Yung first game malapit na pang magsimula again. Tutukan nyo po yan sa One Sports, sa Signal app, and of course sa Smart Giga app as well. Alright, bago po tayo magtapos, syempre basahin muna natin ang ilang mga sumagot sa ating Pulso ng Bayan. Ano ang magandang moniker para sa bagong team ng Converge dito sa PBA? Marami po nagpadala. Again, nagpapasalamat kami sa lahat po ng mga nagpadala. Mark Suba, sabi niya, Cyber Tigers, IT Warriors, Super Surfers, Cyborgs, Avengers, Generals, All-Stars, Nets. Ba? Si Bart Taker 2021, Converge Fiber X Aces. Ganda rin, ano? Mula naman kay Estan, sabi niya, Kume, dahil bago sila, Converge Virgins. Sabi ni Dap, Converge Connectors or Converge of the same feather. Sabi naman ni Leo Talampas, siguro to may galit sa yung mga providers na mabagal ha. Converge Buffers. At sabi naman ni Miko Mama, Converge 5G Connectors. At napakarami pa pong iba ha. Doon naman sa Facebook, marami din po nagpadala. Mula kay Efren Argame, Converge Agents. Sabi ni Reynaldo Teodones, Converge Internet Connection. Si Mon Rodriguez Sabas, galing pa ng Puerto Princesa, Converge Cyberspacers. Bench Niche Uy, Converge Fiverr X Factors, Converge Net Masters. Sana nakikinig pa si Commissioner Chito dito ha. Don Tiburcio, Converge Net Wizard or Converge Internet Links. Joey Sobremesana, Converge Speedsters. Marami po at kami nagpapasalamat sa inyo lahat na nagpadala. Pero ang amin pong napili ngayong araw na ito sa ating Pulso ng Bayan, hatid sa inyo ng Chooks to Go, nag-iisang manok ng bayan na makakatanggap ng 2 gift certificates para sa mga produkto po ng Chooks to Go ay walang iba kung hindi unang-una si Bench Niche Uy. Siya po ang una naming napili. Ang kanya po ay it's recommendable either Converge Netmasters or Converge Fiverr X Masters, hashtag Power and Play with Comnoli, hashtag Pulso ng Bayan, and of course Chooks to Go. Ang aming pong pangalawang napili mula naman sa Twitter ay si ang kanya pong Twitter account ay Peter TV or @Ped Esperida. Ang sagot po niya, maganda siguro, Converge Speed Masters. Alright. Marami pong salamat sa lahat ng nagpadala at sumali sa ating Pulso ng Bayan. Hatid sa inyo ng Chooks to Go, ang nag-iisang manok ng bayan. Alright, that'll do it for us this week. Abangan nyo po, susunod na sa amin ang Inay Ko Po. And of course, ang UAAP season sa Signal, sa One Sports, sa Smart Giga, and of course sa Signal Play. Panoorin nyo po lahat ng mga laro this weekend. Lagi po natin sinasabi tuwing Sabado ng umaga, bawal ang masungit. And of course, sa lahat po ng ating gawain, Ad Maiorem Dei Gloriam, all for the greater glory of God. Kami po ang 1PH, teleserbisyo para sa Pilipino. Happy Sports Weekend, mga kapatid. More power, more play.
Sa kapwa ko Pilipino, ipagmalaki ang galing na meron tayo. Ilantad ang likas nating talento at magdala ng saya sa mundo. Sa harap ng pagsubok ay di susuko, para sa pangarap tayo'y porsigido. natin ng bida. Mula sa simpleng bakuran hanggang entablado natin ipakita. May pagsubok man ng Pinoy, pinalalakas ng saya. San man tayo sa pulot, sumbeshi, bay, lakay, amiga. Sama-samang pakita, ang galing natin katropa. Sa kapwa ko Pilipino.
Mukhang kailangan ko na naman palitan ng bubong ko, pare. Mag-iisang taong pa lang yan. May tulo na kagad.
Ay, bossing! Baka naman kasi hindi matibay yung ginamit nyo. Dapat ang gamitin mo ay cherry loom, ang yerong aluminum. Basta yero, cherry loom. Tibay protektado sa pangmatag.